Ah, duct tape. Turning no, no, no into for 78 years. Hey, if you hate yourself, remember, you're not alone. Other people probably hate you too. I failed a job interview last month. Apparently, a threesome isn't proof you can work in a team dynamic. To all of the side pieces, and that includes you, Vinny, never, and I mean never, give up on your dreams. The top 2 reasons why I don't trust people is, number 1, I don't know them. Number 2, I know them. The other day, I'm at Wal-Mart, and I watched this woman, and she was drinking the liquid laundry detergent Gain, you know, the green jug, right out of the jug into her mouth. I didn't say anything, but when we made eye contact, she gasped and was like, I'm gonna buy it. Don't you just love it when Will Smith is telling Chris Rock to keep his wife's name out of his mouth, but she can't keep other men out of hers? What you talking about, Willis? I hope that the next big trend in music is talent. All right. Who here likes the Korean show Squid Game? Good old red light, green light, eh? I didn't think staying still could be so stressful until Squid Game came into my life. I would totally lose at the Dalgona game, where you gotta cut out the candy. But at least my TikTok tutorial on how not to do it would go viral. If the glass bridge game has taught us anything, is that sometimes it's okay to let someone else go first. The marbles game in Squid Game is where your friendships go to die. And let's face it, the real villain of Squid Game is that giant piggy bank hanging from the rafters, tempting the people to risk their lives. Okay, people, I'm speaking from experience here. Even the ones that you think, nah, they never do me like that, will absolutely do you like that. Hey, you ever notice that nobody says, huh, quicker than somebody who heard exactly what you just said? A male gynecologist is like an auto mechanic who never owned a car. I used the word jabroni, and some of you may not know what that is or what it means. So I'm going to give you an example of a typical jabroni move. And jabroni is the male version. Jabrona would be the female. You see, for so long, the majority of men out there spend much of their youth damaging women in all facets by using and abusing them and leaving them emotionally scarred. And then, when the guy gets older and he's all ready to settle down with a woman, they want one who's not damaged. Jabroni! When I was a child, all my parents had to do to shut me up was to give me the look. Does anyone else remember the look? I gotta change my life, man. I gotta get it all together. 'Cause this damn heat has made me realize that I cannot go to hell. I shot the sheriff,
but I did not shoot the deputy.
Some people say I act like I don't care. Hey, come here. It's not an act. They laugh at me because I'm different. I laugh at them because they're all the same. The guy behind the counter asks me what I wanted on my sub. So I said a nice collar, some restraints, and a ball gag. Now I'm not allowed back at Subway. Eat fresh. So how come I can't have an opinion on abortion because I don't have a uterus, but yet you can be a woman without one? There's a reason why they call it Girls Gone Wild and not Women Gone Wild. 'Cause when girls go wild, they show off their bodies, their ass, and their tits. When women go wild, they poison husbands' food. You ever notice that dogs only come in male and female, and even if you chop the balls off of one, it still stays male? You know how old people don't have a filter and don't give a single shit about what anyone thinks? Yeah, that's me. I'm old people. Mrs. Murphy and Mrs. Cohen have been long-time very close friends. But, being old-fashioned as they were, they each went to a retirement home of their own respective religions. It wasn't long before Mrs. Murphy felt very lonesome for Mrs. Cohen, and so one day she asked to be driven to the Jewish nursing home to visit her old friend. When she arrived, she was greeted with open arms, hugs and kisses. Mrs. Murphy said, "Now, don't be holding back, Mrs. Cohen. How do you like it here?" Mrs. Cohen went on and on about the wonderful food in the facility and had great caretakers. Then, with a twinkle in her eye, she says, "But the best thing is that I now have a boyfriend." Mrs. Murphy said, "Now, isn't that wonderful? Tell me all about it." Mrs. Cohen says, "Well, after lunch, we go up to my room and sit on the edge of the bed together. I let him touch me on the top and then on the bottom, and then we sing happy Jewish songs together." Mrs. Murphy said, "Well now, isn't that an absolute blessing? I'm so glad for you, Mrs. Cohen." Mrs. Cohen says, "And how is it with you, Mrs. Murphy?" Mrs. Murphy says, it was also very wonderful at her new facility and that she also had a new boyfriend. Mrs. Cohen says, "Well, good for you. So, what do you do with him?" "Well, we also go up to my room after lunch and we sit on the edge of the bed and I let him touch me on the top and then I let him touch me down below." Mrs. Cohen says, "Yes, and then?" Mrs. Murphy says, "And then, since we don't know any Jewish songs, we just fuck." When a 7-year-old says to their parents that they think they're a pirate, the parents don't take the kid to get their leg and hand chopped off. Do they? Sometimes in life you might feel like there's no one there for you. But you know who's always there for you? Laundry. Back in 1977, The Muppet Show accurately predicted what most women would look like in the year 2025.
It's time to play the music.
Hey, you ever wonder who picks up the guide dog shit? A woman is on trial for beating her husband to death with his guitar collection. The judge says, "First offender?" Woman says, "No, first a Gibson, then a Fender." Please make sure that you live each day as if it were your last, 'cause someday it will be. Just last month, my wife found out that she was adopted. She was quite devastated about it, kept asking out loud, why didn't they want me? So I comforted her, and after a while she stopped crying and asked me to make love to her, which led to even more tears, 'cause apparently banging her hard from behind, pulling her hair and yelling, "Who's your daddy?" was a little insensitive. I got back from a nice holiday in Thailand, and I came so close to shagging a lady boy. I mean, it looked like a lady, walked like a lady, talked like a lady, and even kissed like a lady. It was only when she drove me back to her place and reversed flawlessly into the garage on the first try that I thought to myself, hang on one cotton-picking minute here. Guy texts girl, "Hey, R.I.P. to your brother. I know it must be hard. Senseless gun violence needs to stop." Girl, I have a boyfriend. Guy, and I have a brother that's 6 feet tall, not deep. Girl, that's not even funny. Guy, I know, but you know what is? How can you take literally hundreds of back shots, but your brother couldn't even take one? Me, never. And I mean never judge a book by its cover. Also me. You mean to tell me you can't tell that guy's gay? Most people can't tell if I'm being sincere or a smartass. It's kind of a gift. Isn't it just hilarious when dudes be talking about they won't shop at any thrift store because everything there is used, but they end up with a woman with 4 kids? Guys, don't let your affection give you an infection. Put some protection on that erection. She told me that she was stripping to feed her kids, but she wanted to get all pissy and cuss me out when I put 2 cans of tuna and 3 cans of corn on the stage. Please show me a female that can leave her cell phone out in the living room unlocked right by her man while she goes in and takes a nice long shower. I'll wait. A man stops in a little town after a long drive looking for a place to have a tall, cold glass of beer. So he goes into the local bar, which is completely empty, except for some blind pianist who's playing some ragtime tunes. He sits down at the bar, and from the back a bartender appears. "What do you want?" the bartender asks, rather hostile. I'd like a big, tall, cold glass of beer, please." Without another word, the bartender pours him a large beer, slams it on the bar, and returns to the back. All the while, the blind piano player is still playing on this old, worn-down, honky-tonk piano. Then, as the man picks up his glass to have a drink, from behind the bar comes a little monkey that jumps onto the bar, gets on the edge of the tall glass, and starts washing his balls in the beer. Now, this goes on for about 3-4 seconds. The monkey then jumps off the glass and disappears behind the bar again. The guy can hardly believe what just happened. He looks around if anybody else sees this, but it's only him and the blind piano player. So he walks over to the piano and he says to the guy, "Do you know there was a monkey on my glass washing his balls in my beer?" The pianist stops playing, pauses for a moment, and says, "The lyrics sound familiar, but I can't remember the melody."